Welcome back to Creative Lens. I'm your host, Uncle Dice, aka Malume, and this is episode 6. A special guest in the house, very faceless most of the time. And fun fact, I met him this past weekend at Between Friends, and we met, and he had to hit me with the "Yo, this is me" kind of vibe. But again, like at Creative Lens, we connect via the streets, we connect via the Instagram streets too. And our guest today, episode 6, is Mr. Rof, man. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good. First and foremost, thank you for having me on the show. Really happy to be here. I'm doing great. Having a good day today. It's just hot today. Yo, I rocked on like a full-on black suit.
Well, I can see.
It was windy in the morning, bro. So I thought maybe, if I have a long shirt, it'll kind of like cut off.
You have to get into Cape Town's program, right?
Yeah.
The city is weird like that with weather.
I think I kind of forgot how it is, bro. But it reminds me so much of like Venda.
Wow, Venda.
Yeah, the only difference we don't have like cold wind, bro. It's like hot, dry wind.
Wow, Venda. So tell me more about Venda. So I take it you're from Venda.
Yeah, that's like that's where I was born. That's my hometown. I grew up there. Got family. All my family lives there.
Yeah.
My mom lives there. It's a beautiful place, man. It's very tropical.
Nice.
A lot of farms.
A lot of farms.
A lot of mountains.
Are you a farmer?
My mom is. My mom is a farmer. But I grew up there, bro. I went to school there, primary, high school. Met a lot of my childhood friends there. Made a lot of memories.
So let's go back to Venda then. Let's just start there So tell us, how was it growing up, and especially how Venda connects to what you're doing now?
Okay.
Is there any direct connection there, or did you at any point when you're growing up, were you holding this camera and saying, "I'm gonna shoot"? How was that? Maybe just take us back to take us back to your humble beginnings, man, and just take us back from where you're from, what you're all about, and we take it from there.
Growing up, I'm gonna say, Ruff was a very naughty kid, man, and I was a very curious kid too, riding bikes. My first love, I think, is cycling. Okay. Which is very
Do you still cycle today?
I took a break after high school. It just got a bit too much for me. And then I decided to take a break. And then now I'm planning on buying a new bike so I can get back to it. But growing up, dude, I was out in the streets playing with my friends, but not all the time. I'd sneak out though, because I'm not allowed to play outside. But yeah, I grew up indoors, loving family, with a mom and a dad. Unfortunately, I lost my pops when I was
sorry to hear that.
But yeah, as a kid, I was into sports. I thought I was gonna be a professional sportsman one day.
Wow.
Yeah, played cricket, played soccer, did swimming, played a bit of golf, putt-putt and all that stuff. Did the cycling, what else did I do?
You did it all.
Yeah, bro. That's why it's multifaceted.
Well, yeah, speaking of which.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So then, okay, cool. So you finished high school. I mean, you grew up in Venda all the way to high school, I take it.
Yeah, all the way to high school, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then what happens after that? Was there anything that you wanted to become at this time? You finished in high school? Because a lot of individuals, after that high school stage, there's a whole lot of, what am I going to do next?
Yeah.
How was that for you?
To be honest, that was not much of a problem.
Okay.
I knew I wanted to be a businessman or a sportsman. So I kind of knew what I wanted to do already. I've always kind of had that figured out a little bit of some sort. Okay. I told myself I'm going to go do marketing because I was so dope at that. I was passing that in high school.
Wow.
Funny enough, business was my highest subject for my IUB finals.
Wow.
So that was pretty sick. So I knew I was going to go study business and then
So you knew this straight on?
Yeah. I knew I was going to be a businessman from day one.
Wow.
Yeah, I always knew that's
So never working for anybody kind of thinking.
Yeah. But I think at some point it took a while to kind of get to that realization that I can actually do this on my own, right? But initially I wanted to be a businessman, do marketing, be a marketing genius because I have all these crazy creative ideas of how we can market what. And then things, I guess, all of a sudden changed. Like if we like rewind a little bit to like grade 10.
So what happens in grade 10?
I get exposed to the internet. So that I get exposed to the internet, and there's a little bit of a heartbreak, So that kind of like forced me to kind of get like
a little bit of a heartbreak.
Yeah. Like that forces me to kind of find an outlet, bro.
Okay.
But also that, like, apart from that, funny story, it's like curiosity. I was exposure and curiosity. I was exposed to like the internet. I also had a cousin named Are.
Okay.
Well, I still have him as a cousin.
Your cousin's status has expired.
Nah. So like he was like doing like he lived in Johannesburg in Pretoria. Okay. So they did a lot of cool stuff. So every time I'd visit them, it's like, yo, this guy's doing
so cool stuff. What is cool stuff?
Like skating, rocking the Vans, like listening to cool music.
Okay.
Whatever, and then eventually like I see he started a brand. And then there was also a guy at my school that started a brand. And then
do you remember the brands, the names?
Yeah, Pink Soul Studio. I started Pink Soul Studios. His Ari's brand name was Hugo, and the other guy's brand name was Paper Guap or something.
What? Paper Guap.
Paper Guap.
Yeah, we need that guap, right?
Hey, you need it always.
All the time.
So that kind of was like, low-key like, yo, this is possible, essentially. Okay. Looking at these dudes, like make these cool things. And I was also like into fashion at the time. I'm exposed to like Jaden Smith, looking at that on the internet, SoundCloud era.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, yo, I want to be a part of this culture.
The culture,
too. Yeah. And I love dressing up. You come from Venda. The fashion is dope, but not that dope. Like no shade to my homies back home, but it was just like not what I wanted to be a part of in terms of like popular culture. Because I was exposed to this big world, traveling as well. Like my mom taking us places or whatnot. Okay. And it's like, okay, now there's this. I want to kind of be a part of this culture that's outside. I see something bigger than what already exists right in front of me, And that's how I kind of got segued into like the creative world. Oh, wow. And then with that comes like, you have to shoot photos, right? Yeah. And then I had to get a new.
So how old are you here at this time?
Probably like 14.
Wow. And you're shooting at 14?
Dude, I started shooting even younger, which is crazy. Yeah.
I mean, hold on. How young were you when you started shooting?
So my first memory of me like actually taking a photo is on a camera, like a snapshot camera. But like probably I was like 7 or 8 at the time. This is before my pops passed on. Yeah. Because I remember him or my mom asking me to take photos of them in my grandmother's kitchen.
Yeah.
So I took a photo of them, but like that's like it's just a photo, it's nothing serious at the time. And then like
it's crazy.
At the same, it is, right? And then at the same time, it's like there's this guy, my other family friend called Mavi. He's working at I think SABC studio
at the time.
Yeah, he's a DOP. So, and there's also church, like the cameramen are like holding cameras. I'm like, this is
what you want to do.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I get, I start shooting on an iPhone and an iPad as well. Like, that's
okay, cool. So how old are you now at this iPhone, iPad era?
That's grade 8.
Wow.
Now we're starting to get into the real things, like I kind of somewhat of a real thing, but I'm shooting plants. I'm shooting the sky. Yeah. I'm shooting my homie cycle. We go into the mountain and go ride bikes, and I'm taking photos of people like riding bikes.
So it just came.
It just came, yeah. Like the photo part just came, and I just hopped on that wave. To be honest, like it was never a planned thing. Like it was never I want to be a photographer. There's no creative person in my family.
Yeah,
that's saying like, yo, Rof, like yo, come hold this camera for me. It's just out of like seeing and being curious as to what is that life like. Essentially.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you finished grade 12, right?
Yeah.
You have your cousins in Pretoria.
Yeah.
You've seen them doing all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
What happens to you next? Are you thinking of college at the time? Are you thinking of working? Yeah. Where's your headspace at this time?
I'm thinking of college, bro, because I come from. My mom is an academic, right? So she's an agricultural scientist. So and she works at well, I can't say where she works, but anyway.
Yeah.
So
She works there.
She works there. But she's like my mom, and my grandmother's a principal.
Oh snap!
So it's like, yo, you have no choice, boss. Like, go study, right? So that's like the goal. But then I know that like the ticket to get all the things that you want to get out of this place, and the only way to get out of this place is you gotta pass and go to uni. What I did know was I'm going to Cape Town. I'm not going to Johannesburg. I don't want to be there. Like, I've seen this. It's
okay. So what? So was you not wanting to be in Joburg from being with your cousins?
Not even that. It's just like I wanted a different life. Like, I wanted something completely different. All the homies where we come from, like, end up in Joburg.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, and my mom kind of was like, bro, I think if you also move out, it's like you get to experience new people.
Yeah.
Things you've never seen before.
Correct.
Cultures you've never been exposed to before. So it's like, I'm like, yo, Cape Town is the goal since, and it took a lot of convincing, you know, with my mom's, but she was also for it at the same time when I kind of, you know, explained like my reason for that, because she's like, it's too far.
Yeah, it is far.
She wants me to go there because she knows that she doesn't want me to end up where, like, you know, everyone else is. Not that it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
She just wanted me to like get exposed to new people, because it was easy for me to say, I'm going to Joburg, I'll be with my high school homie.
Yeah, and then you just blend in. And
you just blend in. And
just become a Joburg bro.
You feel me? I don't want to be a Joburg bro. Nothing wrong with being a Joburg bro, but like, I don't want to be that.
Wow. Okay, so you come to college in Cape Town.
Yeah.
So just tell us your journey in the city, because what were you studying at the time?
So I studied a BCom General, right? With goals to sort of like major in marketing. Like I said, that's my love as well in terms of the academic route. So I come to school to do that, study BCom General, and then also I have a goal in mind. Remember, I have a clothing brand, Pink Soul Studios. So I was like, hey, I need to grow this brand too in Cape Town.
So this is Pink Soul Studios.
This is Pink Soul Studios. Photography is bubbling, but like, it's not that dope. But like, you know, I'm still learning at this point. I'm figuring stuff out. And as I get to Cape Town, I'm like, okay, I need to get a pop-up somewhere in Woodstock. I got a pop-up in Woodstock at one of Leah's events, at Edition events.
Wow, shout out to Leah.
Shout out
to her.
Yeah, and that helped a lot in terms of just meeting people and being comfortable and seeing that, yo, there's a lot more other people doing this thing and that you need to kind of grind harder or whatever. But then COVID hits.
Oof.
3 months into staying in Cape Town.
Oof.
Now I got to go back home.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Now I gotta go back home.
So you're studying remotely, I take it, at this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we go back home.
Now we go back home.
Yeah,
that's
tell us about
kind
that.
of like the real. So the birth of like the creative, multifaceted dude in terms of like photography starts in Cape Town with the clothing as well. But then going back home, I can't sell clothes, right?
Yeah.
There's no money at the time. You can't make money. You can't get to supplies, manufacturers, or whatever the case may be. So now I'm forced to shoot. And then I am now like hitting up a homie that I know that's a bigger brother to another close friend of mine, Philip. So I hit up Coffee. He's a model in Joburg, like doing really well, you know, doing all these nice fashion campaigns. And I'm like, yo, broski, do you want to like go shoot? Because we're like living in the farm, like in the countryside. So it's like you can drive. No one's really going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like strict
you can do whatever you want to do.
You feel me? So I'm like, yo, bro, like let's go shoot in the mountains. I know the mountains really well because I was cycling there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's go do a few photo shoots.
Okay, no, but then pause on that.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to pause is, what camera are you using at this time? I mean, okay, you leave Cape Town, you got Pink Soul, the brand, it's a clothing brand, right?
Yeah, it's a clothing brand.
You go back home.
Yeah.
Did you have a camera with you?
Yeah. So
what's your first camera? What camera do you have on you this time around?
So before I was very fortunate enough to go on a student exchange program in France. So I begged my mom to get me a proper camera because I didn't want to shoot on the phone when I was overseas. So she got me a Canon 200D with the 18 to 55 millimeter.
That kit lens.
The kit lens, yo. I won't lie, I'll tell you stories.
Yeah, that's how you start. But everybody starts with the kit lens, right?
I won't lie, that's like probably one of my favorite lenses. Even though people hate on them, they're like a kit lens is like,
it's the most hated thing on earth, right?
But
it's catch smoke, kit lens, catch smoke a lot.
Yo, bro, if you have a kit lens, it's like you want to hide it.
I had a kit lens, for the longest time.
Yeah, even me. I think I only got my proper new lens like 2 years ago, the 35 prime, which is like my favorite lens right now. But like that was, even though I got that, is crazy, but that's another story.
Okay, cool. So then you have this camera.
Yeah.
You hit up your cousin, your friend, your mate.
My friend, Coffee. Yeah.
Coffee was a model.
Yeah.
You invent that you're shooting.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
So we just go around. I'm like, yo, bro, I want to shoot stuff like this. We go to like, I'm trying to shoot editorial stuff at the time, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, just dress up in whatever, bro.
Okay, so then the thing, Raf, is how do you know that's editorial? Is there anyone telling you this at the time, or just reading on the internet and figuring it out?
The internet, really, like I said, I always say that the internet saved the kids, which is me, right? So I'm like looking at the internet, I see brands, like big fashion brands doing really cool stuff, and I have a very like big love for fashion, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm trying to do stuff like that, but also at the same time, we're just going on Pinterest as well, searching like editorial shoots.
Yeah.
But I've also never been a person that was inclined to like taking from the internet and then trying to replicate that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I want to shoot something like this. But when I get there, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, just like as an inspiration.
As an inspiration.
Worst case scenario, that's the shoot, right?
I mean, for most, and literally, bro, that was it. Like, I never planned shoots. I don't remember sending a mood board to Coffee.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he would just come to my house, because it's very dark skin. So I like I said earlier on when we were speaking, I have a big love for contrast, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember the first time he came through to my house. We shot in our backyard. Got this this pink backdrop, and then I asked him to pose in front of that, and I just shot portraits of that. After that, that's fire, that looks cool. And there's like a little dam close to the place where we live, but it's dried out, so it's just reeds now. I'm like, yo, bro, just wear like a white cloth, like as a towel type vibe.
Yeah.
Standing there, we'll shoot photos. Those look lit, but the colors are not the greatest, but I'm still like
figuring it out.
Yeah, and I'm loving them because I figured out this setting on my camera, which was a black and white setting, but then it came with grain. That's where my love for grain came in.
Okay.
So now I see this setting. I'm like, yo, okay, let's like test this out.
I'm gonna shoot everything on this setting.
I'm gonna shoot on this because I know that if you don't have this camera, you don't have this kind of black and white. You can have black and white,
but not
this one. And I can adjust like, you know, the level of grain that I want. I can adjust the contrast that I want. Everything I can adjust. That's just like, okay, this is my thing. Now we start shooting more and more with that, with me and Coffee. And then after that, our third shoot, now I'm kind of getting comfortable.
So then what's the duration now between these shoots? I mean, it's COVID, right?
Yeah. It's happening maybe every 2 weeks.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, we shooting.
Okay, so then Coffee comes from your area. You guys live close
we live
by.
in the same area,
Yeah, okay.
So then now we're just driving around, like, you know, like the location. There's not much locations to work with, but there's like a lot of greenery.
Yeah.
And a lot of like, what do they call these places? Like quarries.
Okay, yes.
So
the stones,
Yeah, so now we go to the quarry. That's like where I felt like, yo, I'm killing it for real.
All right.
I'll show you the photos, but like after that, we do that shoot, and that is amazing. Gets a lot of reception. We're nice, and from there we paused. You know, we stopped shooting for a bit because I felt like I was burnt out as well. You know, COVID rules are also getting stricter at the time.
Okay.
So now we're chilling.
So what's your editing process? Okay, you're shooting all this stuff.
Yeah.
How are you editing at this time?
Cracked Lightroom.
Cracked Lightroom. Yeah. I had that from Photoshop, the whole suite.
Yeah.
Over the patch.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when it came to Lightroom, self-taught, how was that going for you?
I'm self-taught. Like no one has taught me, no one has sat down with me and said,
say, hey,
this is how you use Lightroom. YouTube.
That's YouTube.
And myself.
And trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once I figured out the tools on YouTube, I was just like, okay, now we go on our own. Because I don't have a very good attention span. So I can't watch the videos for an hour.
Hey, same here. Like I struggle with that too.
Yeah. So now I'm just like learning and figuring out the colors and everything.
As you go.
Yeah, as I go. And yeah, that's pretty much how I was editing. Lightroom, nothing else. I just searched on YouTube this one time what to use to edit.
Wow.
And then Lightroom came up, and then I downloaded Lightroom.
Wow.
Cracked it.
So you're burning out. I mean, you're feeling tired at this time, right?
Yeah.
What then takes the next place? What next for you there? It's COVID time. I mean, you're studying remotely, obviously.
Yeah.
and you're shooting and you're feeling a bit burnt out, how are you finding inspiration
I
at the time?
started making podcasts.
What?
Yeah. I started recording podcasts on my phone.
Okay.
And the podcasts were essentially to cheer me up.
Okay.
It was like little bites, like snap bites of like, you know, just motivation to me and my friends. So I'm like, you know, do whatever. I remember one of the title I think is "Do with what you have," or something like that. So it was those little. It was just letters to myself and conversations to myself. You know, like just motivating myself. Like, you know, you can do this. You know, you don't need a lot of equipment to do what you want to do.
You just start.
Yes, I'm sort of like sharing my life experience at that point.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah, and then even at the time, I remember having conversation with friends about like, does creativity kill if you're in a small town? Is your creativity killed if you're in a small town?
Good question though, but it's quite a good question.
Yeah, so those are like the conversations I was having with myself, and then also have some homies pull up as well, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was this happening at home? I mean, was it happening?
So at home, this is happening at home, but then it's still COVID, right? So I kind of guessed. But
Yeah.
like I downloaded this app at the time. It's called, the Spotify. Before the Spotify, it had a different name. I just can't remember the name right now.
Okay.
But it's the same distributor that everybody uses right now on podcasts. That's like how I'm recording on my iPhone, headsets, tell my brother to keep quiet. Do this thing for 3-5 minutes, upload, you send it through. And then once I had to like get people on, I figured out a way to get people onto that, you know, tell someone you download the app.
Okay.
And then we'll connect like as if it's a call, and then we have a conversation.
Yes. So that's how it was done.
Yeah. So that's how I'm like, you know, spending time at this moment. I'm not shooting. I'm just recording podcasts, talking about what I'm doing, how life is, and all that stuff.
So is this like Instagram, YouTube? Where does this live at the time?
On Spotify and Apple Podcasts. There's no video. I'm not recording videos. I just want to release this thing.
Yeah. Okay. So during this time, you're still studying and you're still with COVID. How's your journey as a creative at this time? Throughout the time? Okay, you're doing the podcast. At what point did you find yourself saying, I'm trying to do this to add to what you already know?
Damn, I haven't thought about that. That's a good question.
Because here's the chat. You know, like like for example, you know, like for the longest time I was thinking of a podcast, right?
Okay.
I was thinking of it in the sense of kind of like what the conversation should be, kind of like vibe. However, I knew at some point something had to give for me to actually make room for the podcast. So you're making these recordings, you're at home studying, not shooting much, I take it. What made you pick up the camera again? Perhaps that's the question.
COVID ends and I move back to... Oh, no, I'm lying. I have to shoot... I'm still making a bit of clothes.
Okay.
So
Pink Soul.
Yeah, Pink Soul. And there's other homie called Pano that used to live in the same town as me, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of shared ideas, similar ideas and like outlooks and perspectives on life. So now... he's like putting me onto certain things that I don't know, and now we're just shooting together. Now we're starting to shoot for my brand, the pieces that already existed. We're shooting little campaigns in and around our street because you can't go too far. It's COVID.
Oh yeah, it's COVID. Yeah.
So that's what's happening. But then still after that, COVID ends. I moved back, even if it wasn't done. But like I just asked my mom, I'm like, yo,
let me go back to the city.
This is killing me, bro. Like I need to get out of here, bro. So they open up the country. I fly back to Cape Town. And now the real work starts. That's where like, the real photography, like I feel, comes in, where I was challenged. You know, I'm shooting with people like Jesse. I'm going to studio sessions.
Okay, but wait. That's a whole cheat code. Wait, you come back to Cape Town.
Yeah.
Right, you're still a student.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm still a student. Yeah.
But for you now, how do you meet up with these guys? How do you get your groove back? Wait, how do you find your groove back to like,
there's one man I'll always thank. It's Christian, bro.
What?
I always say like, that's like the guy that made it, that he opened the gates for me in terms of just like meeting people. So he was, I don't even remember how I met Christian, but I remember just sending him a DM. I'm like, yo, bro, if you ever need help on set,
wow,
or photos, like, can I just come and help? I just want to be there. Even if I shoot BTS, don't pay me. I just want to shoot.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy is you need to watch the Christian episodes.
Yeah, I need to tap in.
You tap in because your story is exactly like Christians, like
crazy.
copy and paste, like just how you reached out to Christian. It's exactly how he also started out.
Yeah.
So shout out to Christian, man, Mr. Dio himself, aka the major plug. Okay, so you reach out to Christian, and what happens post that?
Christian comes to pick me up. We go to Langa.
Does he still have his green ride?
Yeah, the green Beamer. Yeah. Wait, the red Beamer.
Is it
yeah, it was still red.
Was it red?
Yeah,
Okay.
Maroon red.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he picks me up. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going.
Kualanga.
We're going to Kualanga. We're gonna shoot Simulation Raps' music video.
Oh, he's from Langa, yeah?
He's from Langa.
Yes.
I forgot the name of the music video was shooting.
Christian been outside for a minute,
Yeah, my bro has been pushing for real. So yeah, we go to the shoot, and then that's where I kind of meet Big Don Leo. Same thing, because Leo's also shooting photos for that music video, but I'm just shooting BTS. I just want to be there. In fact, I'm not even shooting like that, but I have my camera. I just want to shoot and help out where I can, And that's where like the journey starts. I start to pivot more into like tapping in more into the music scene.
Okay, so you're shooting there. Yeah. I mean you're there, capturing some BTS, and how does that go?
They fire, bro.
Wow.
At this time, like in my head now, I believe I'm like I'm the flyest dude right here, bro. Like I was obviously intimidated a little bit, bro, because it's my first time like shooting in an environment like this, right, where there are other people that know what they're also doing.
Correct.
I'm still a kid, like I'm probably 18 at the time, 18 or 19, and I'm 18. So like I'm scared, bro. I won't lie, I'm really scared. There's Leo there, he looks so cool, me, I'm just a brew from Vanda, you know what I mean? So
trying to figure it out.
And I don't know anybody here but Christian.
Yeah.
And the people I was with in the car. His younger brother, I forgot who else was in there. But anyway, now like I shoot the photo, I'm like, I'm gonna kill this because this is like the one chance. I have
one chance. And do you know what's crazy is I always say this, I also have read this. As creatives, but just life in general, sometimes the only thing you have to do is show up.
Yeah, and I did that day, bro.
It's just that. But you also went on, you did something else before, which I feel is very important. And for everyone listening, guys, you have to reach out.
Yeah.
It won't fall from the sky. Mm-mm. You have to reach out. And the fact that you reached out to Christian, the fact that you showed up and you take these amazing pictures. So this is rap. It's you being part of it, being involved. How does life progress from there for you? So
life progresses in this way, right? After that, I shoot 5 images. Sims likes the photos. He hits me up again. It's like, wow, boss, I need you to come, shoot
and cook.
Photo. Now I'm living with a roommate, like a flatmate, my one of my best friends. I'm like, boy, I think I'm inside. So I'm like, yo, I'm inside now. We go shoot in town. Yeah. Right. So it's cool. We do this photo shoot. And then I'm like, let me hit them with another banger, right? I go crazy. The photos get featured on Vogue.
Wow.
Photo Vogue. So I'm like, because I somehow found a hack to get into that system.
Yo, how do you hack that system? I know it's a system. I'm curious.
I'm very curious. At the time, I haven't seen none of our peers.
Yeah.
Beyond those platforms, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I get it on there. I find a way to get. I remember. Okay, I used to Google every night how to get on Vogue because that's where I wanted to be, and I still wanna work with those people, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do I get onto Vogue? Eventually, I found out how to get onto Photo Vogue. Yeah. Submitted the images. They go crazy, and then that goes up, right? And then after that, I start shooting for Sims at events. And then now I'm also like, okay, now I can't always shoot for Sims. I need to expand my my network. I start shooting at all the small events in Cape Town.
So are you reaching out to shoot, or you just can't?
I'm just going with my camera.
Yeah.
So I'm shooting events, but then there was okay, there are also other photographers, but I need to remember my goal is I need to get my name out. I'm from Vanda, bro. I'm from Vanda. I don't know nothing. I don't know anybody, but I need to get my name out. That's that's the only thing that's in my head. like in terms out just to like get people to recognize the work, right?
Yeah.
And I came up with something of like, okay, everybody shoots photos, but they take long to edit.
Hey, the editing time.
So now what set me apart was like, which even made me love what I was doing even more, was I would shoot before the performer is home. That guy has his photos.
Yeah.
And then
the pressure
is crazy at
the
this
pressure.
time. I won't lie.
The pressure.
And then I started, from again curiosity, I started messing around with the low shutter speed.
Oh,
the
yeah.
faster shutters, like
that blur is crazy.
So now I start shooting like, I'm blurring images of people performing. Now it's very different from what everyone else is doing. So that like that's like what is happening. That's part of the journey now. And then now people are starting to notice. Zoo, I remember Insert Coins is like, yo, pull up to the studio and shoot slow, and Insert Coins also, shout out to those people. They helped me also kind of like break in a little bit and just meet more people through them. Shout
out to them. Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, they invited me to like a studio session in Woodstock.
Yes.
I think at SAE or something like that. And then that's where I meet Jesse Jules in that studio session. But I had seen Jesse stuff on Instagram, like, this guy's hard. Yo.
Yeah, Jesse goes in.
That's crazy. So now I shoot them, and then I meet Jesse. And then from there, like, we just start shooting events together. That's pretty much the journey for a while. We start shooting events together. And then what happens after that? Like, I think we just started growing from there, bro. And now, like, I'm like getting tired of shooting the music thing a lot because also Bruce.
So then, how's your pivot then? Because I mean, you're shooting the music all the time. Where is that pivot for you?
Broke is the pivot. I start shooting. I'm like, hey, I want to shoot some. I remember I hit up Slow Low one day.
Yeah.
We went to Rigby's old place.
Wow. Shout out to Rigby.
But Adu was there. And I remember I'm like, yo, Adu, can I shoot you, bro? I want to shoot like a young photo shoot. Quick, yana. I remember I shoot Slow Low wearing a red Broke t-shirt. And that's how I start shooting more like the fashion stuff. I'm like, yo, this is fun. I love it more. Yeah. And I'm getting back to what I wanted to shoot when I was still in Venda. Yeah. Right? The music was just a segue into the network, essentially, just to get the name out. And then I start shooting Slow Low. That's fun, but that's also still music subconsciously.
Yeah, it is. It is. Music. Yes, yeah.
But then after that, I start now seeing that, there are other people, like stylists exist.
Yes.
The other creatives, essentially, I start collaborating with like other people that have stylist pieces.
So then did you like reach out to the stylist at this time? Are you reaching out, or the work is translating from a point of someone sees the work and says, I want to work with this guy?
So I think it's that thing of like being around, hanging out at Influx. Yeah. Right? We would meet a lot of people, and when people see you, because obviously the work is good, right?
Influx.
Shout out Uncle Sam.
Yeah, Uncle Sam. Shout out to Uncle Sam.
So now, like, because I think people are starting to notice the work, I'm also getting messages like, yo, Rof, can we shoot, etc. So I'm like, yeah, cool, let's go do it. I don't care about the money at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go shoot. That's how that comes about. And I start shooting with like, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember who's the first person I worked with in terms of styling. Probably, damn.
No, it'll come back. Yeah. It'll come back. Anyway, but it'll come back. It'll come back.
That happens, Now I start like linking up with the stylists and people that also have like clothing brands.
Yeah.
And I'm just like shooting, but I'm not really getting lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then also at the same time, in that same year that I came back, I sort of started Pink Soul again. Okay. Because I still had some stock of blanks. I needed to print. I needed to put it out. And then I started shooting more of those fashion stuff, the videos, and I'm also shooting photos of that. So now I'm like, yo, that's why I'm also practicing like these really high-end looking colors or whatever. And that's when I'm like, okay, this has to be at a certain level. I don't get satisfied easily. I think that's where like the main pivot is. Like Broken Pink Soul, I needed to shoot like stuff for me first and foremost before even like the other stuff. That was just me knocking like, yo, can I shoot? Or whatever the case might be. And then that's like where the fashion thing starts, and I'm like, okay, they streetwear cool. Now, hey bro, like time to level it up. I want to do high fashion now. because I have an expensive taste.
Wow.
And I also can't afford to buy some of these clothes, but I know I can get someone that has them and I can shoot it.
That's how it is. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I even see you did some work for Lucid Studios.
That's my brother right there.
Yeah, shout out to G.
Yeah, which is like, that's also another way I pivot into fashion, to be honest. Like for real, where I felt like I'm really shooting like fashion brands. I can't remember how it happened, but also Gillian just hit me up and it's like, yo, bro, can we collaborate on a fashion project? And then, yeah, I modeled for his shoot, which is weird. And then I think I had red dreadlocks at the time, so I think that's what intrigued me. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was a pretty cool look. And then after that, I started shooting his stuff, and that's where I started saying, okay, yeah, bro, like I think I can really do the fashion stuff for real. And then also, I kind of lost inspiration for making clothes, right? So I was like, how else can I contribute to the fashion scene?
Yeah,
it's through photography right now.
So so at this time, are you making money from photography?
Yeah. We're charging a young 1.5.
Guys, we need to leave the 1.5 number, guys. We need to.
No, but you know what's crazy at the time? Like, I think other people were charging 500 rand.
Yeah.
I always.
Yeah, I mean that was a few years back. I mean, so you're literally expensive.
Yeah,
I'm not expensive per se, but you price a bit more.
Yeah, like
than what the average was at the time.
At this point, like, cause I'm also like that kid. Like, I am too curious, right? So I try to find out from the guys I'm looking up to in the industry.
How much do you cost?
Yeah, how much do you charge? So I'm like, okay, if you charge so much and you're shooting like this, I'm not maybe shooting that. I can slightly charge.
Just come a bit lower.
Just lower. Just a bit. And then later on, I met this guy called Awerani, right? Awizi. Yeah. And Gideon, Felix, right? And then I start like helping out on their sets. So I'm no longer in the music side. I'm now shooting.
So that's Gideon Felix. I'm trying to get him on the show too.
My big brother right there. I love that man so much, bro. I really do.
Yeah.
So yeah, he like now allows me to come on his sets and just watch them. They're shooting the campaigns.
Yeah.
Brands, X brand. I wanna. Yeah. That's sports.
So you're learning. So
I'm learning.
So you're learning at this time.
I'm just watching, bro. Like literally, I think like those between, let's say 2023 and 2021, I'm just learning, bro.
Yeah.
I know I'm not the greatest. I just want to learn from the people that I think are the best at this point.
But 2023 is like last year, right?
Yeah, bro. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
It's just now.
Yeah, it's just now, bro. I'm at the same time as I'm learning, I'm refining also.
Okay.
And I'm looking at what people are doing. And then when people go left, I go right. I'm like, hey, these photos look too clean in terms of color. I'm like, now we need to tap into color. You start watching these videos on YouTube by this guy called Martin Shredder. I will say that was a game changer for me. Like,
wow.
I watched that guy for a year straight on.
Serious?
Yeah, like every day. It's like he sits and he edits like photos of different photographers. They send him raws.
Yeah.
And he edits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Put us on. We need that.
Yeah.
Like wow. And just this is step back. So this time that you're learning, throughout this year, what are the things that you start to learn and understand about color? Maybe just run us through what then becomes your process. Because when I look at your page, you know, I love your colors, and just, but beyond that, your style is very different. Like that, I mean, like you say, like it's really everybody's going left, you far right.
Yeah.
Just bring us a little bit more into that space in terms of what you were learning and what since has become your process now and the obsession with color.
Okay, so what I've been learning with color, what I've been doing to learn more about color, I'm reading books, bro, about color wheels, studying the relationship between different colors, what contrasts, what doesn't contrast, what complements, like, you know, all those little things. And then, wait, so you want me to, wait, please repeat the
No. I mean, look, just to go back to your process.
The process of
you studying throughout the whole year. You're on YouTube.
Yeah,
like just learning, you're just soaking all in, you're learning.
Yeah.
But how does all that impact now in terms of what are you learning at this time about color? What's your process like when you're approaching projects?
Yeah.
Keeping in mind, you just watched like 2 hours worth of something or an hour worth of content.
Yeah.
How is that impacting your workflow at the time?
It's making it more exciting because now I'm learning something I've never done before, right?
Yeah.
And it's making it slightly longer, but then I'm also finding ways to make it quick, right? It's impacting my workflow in a way that like it's made just that whole like I learned to surrender, bro. In that
You learn to surrender.
yeah,
Wow,
bro,
I like that word.
Yeah, I learned to surrender that sometimes it might not work. Like some colors might not make sense, but I just sometimes kept pushing, and that also forced me to it with the process. It also allowed for the process to teach me new things on how to compensate for other things that don't work in that process of editing and stuff.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Wow. And the projects you're doing at the time, because you have to elaborate some projects, right?
Yeah.
As you're learning this new. Was there a point during the process where you either sent out the work to a client or maybe even had your friend look at the work and be like, yo, this is hard?
To be honest, I hardly did that.
Yeah.
I just believed, bro, that
this is going to work.
Yeah, this is going to, like, because everyone is opposing those colors.
Yeah.
It's green, bro. What do you mean your photos are green, bro?
like what the hell?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I'm like, okay, now I'm cool with that because the guys that I'm looking at overseas or whatever, they're not having like clean images. There's nothing wrong with that. But their editorial homies are like going crazy with the colors, you feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not really showing anyone except like my brother or the people that I felt like had this kind of taste level that is palatable to them. You know what I mean? Like some of my homies are just saying like, okay, whether they like it or not, it doesn't matter to me.
So then I guess then the question is, how important is trusting your process?
I think it's very important. I've learned that it's very important. Like it's really important to believe in like what you're doing, whether it makes sense or not. But it's also important to like check in with other people to kind of like see also you're not going crazy now. You know what I mean?
But it's us the crazy ones who change things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's crazy until everybody says, wow, that is
this
dope.
Is fire.
That is fire.
I mean?
But before it was crazy.
It was crazy, yeah, bro. Like, yeah, dog, like I was literally if I felt like I knew you were not going to really mess with this or you're going to have a negative response towards this, I didn't even like show you. I would just do my thing. And that also within that process of like learning the color in that year, I learned that it helps define my look.
Yeah.
This is how I can, because I hated the idea of watermarks.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, like this is not the one.
So the work must just translate to be like, I know that work.
Yeah, color became my watermark. Yeah, that's also another thing within that process. That okay, I learned that there's other ways to make your watermark be a watermark without actually having a proper, real, copyrighted watermark.
Wow, some jewels. Yeah, you just dropped some jewels. And within this process now, how is so are you still a student at the time you graduated, I take it?
I'm still a student because I graduated in 2023 May
last year. Yeah. So now you've graduated. What do you do now?
My mom says go and do a post-grad. I tell her no. I tell her,
how did that conversation go?
Hey, it was tough, bro. I remember the night of my graduation, I had like 2 friends over.
Yeah.
And then my mom had a conversation with them to try and convince me. It was like a 2-hour conversation, but like not even like tough.
Yeah, it was just
like discourse on some like, yo, bro, go do this. And I'm saying, no, I don't want to do it. Reason being, I was like to my mom, can you give me a runway of 6 months to make this thing work for real? And I'll decide from there if I need to go to school. But I also understood her reasons.
I'm not definitely.
Yeah.
So then you have this runway.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 6 months. How is life and what's going on?
So life
break it down for us now in the 6 months.
Yeah, life changes. I decided to make a very impulsive decision, but very calculated too. I say I want to move out of Cape Town. I want to move to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like I needed to do that. Me and my other homies like K-Kid and them, we just decided like, bro, think it's time to leave.
So wait. You just dropping names and just rushing off, man.
Oh.
Okay, how does that relationship happen?
So the way that relationship happens is, remember when I was shooting in music festivals and stuff, she asks me to come and shoot photos for her after seeing the images from Sims.
Okay.
That's the relationship, because they were homies before anyone, so we'd all move together, and then I would just shoot for all the artists that were performing. I would just shoot for them and send them photos, right? And she loved my photos a lot, and then she just kept asking me to come back and shoot photos for her.
So are you in Joburg at this time?
I'm still in Cape Town at the time when we start shooting together.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after that, I'm still in Cape Town shooting with her, and then she says, "Yo, like, come and shoot for me when I'm performing everywhere I go, etc." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like, let's just shoot. I'm just shooting. I'm having fun, learning new things, whatever." And then we build a relationship out of that, like a really long ass relationship together. We become close as friends.
And this is last year into this year.
When I met Keiki, I met Keiki like in 2022. We're getting closer and becoming friends and stuff like that.
Okay.
So then eventually we're all just like, I think
we can work.
It's time to, we can work. Like she always said, you're my go-to guy, bro. And I really appreciated that platform. I still do to this day, And then with that relationship, we're like, I think it's time to take it to the top. Like, let's move to Joburg and try and find new things. Because also I'd be like, I'm feeling a bit too...
So how was Joburg at the time?
The first time of moving to Joburg was not that bad. Like, it was, I knew some people there, so it was like very calm. I was well received and all that stuff. So I enjoyed that part.
So are you working now there?
I don't work for anybody.
Like, or you just living by faith, or just
living by faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just living by faith. I'm running. I then start my agency in Cape Town.
Okay.
Like, it's called the Rough Network.
Yeah. So tell us more about that.
So the Rough Network is essentially like how do I describe it? It's essentially a creative studio and an ideation studio that specializes in creative direction, photography, and world building. Yeah. That's essentially what it is.
And there's some cool projects you've worked on?
Some of the cool projects I've worked on with that is Una Rams, which is pretty sick. Everything that I've done essentially.
So Una Rams, just a bit more. Was that the animation?
Yeah, that's the animation that I did. So when I moved to Joburg, right, I started doing, funny enough, I moved back to the music stuff.
Yeah.
The music space. And before we get to Una, like how I want to kind of explain how that works or how that happens, right? So it's funny because I always said I don't want to be in the music space.
But you find yourself always in them.
Myself going back to the music space. This homie of mine, when I was with Keed in Joburg called J Smash, they had a joint project. And I happened to be there, and then J Smash found out that we're from the same place in Venda. So he's like, "Yo, I need you to do like stills and stuff." I'm like, "Yo, let me do creative direction for your album."
Yeah,
I'll be a creative director for your rollout, your films, your stills, or whatever. And then we do that in the first year that I'm in Joburg. I'm working doing his project, and then fast forward, Una, I've known him for a very long time because. His younger brother and I are like best mates for like 10 years now. Wow. So, and Una was that person that was like, he was just that beacon of like, hope, bro. He's from Venda, he's doing crazy
It's doing
stuff,
well. And
big inspiration.
Yeah, man.
So I get the opportunity to also be his creative director.
Okay.
And like I built this, I had to they had a foundation already because Una he's a creative director himself.
Yeah.
So it's like now I'm like hopping onto this foundation that they've laid out for me already, and then I collaborate with their team and we start now making the animations. It's like, yo, I'm about to drop this EP. I need something for it. I'm like, you know what? The first project he gave me was the SOS promo rollout. That was the roll because I was doing the rollout for his EP. And he's like, yo, do something. I'm like, I bet. I think I'm not going to shoot video for this. I want to make cartoons.
Is this you at this time?
Yeah, this is me. I'm like, yo, we're going to make this a cartoon with a 2-week deadline, which is crazy.
So how do you do this now? How does this happen? Do do you draw? How do you creative direct a cartoon? Maybe that's the question then.
Damn. I started by sketching out stuff like scenes that I wanted on paper.
Okay.
Right. And then, but at the same time, I don't know how to make cartoons, bro. I don't know how to animate or whatever. You know, I hit up this other homie called Mike. Mike, you knew, right? So I'm like, yo, bro, through Jace, I know him through J Smash. I'm like,
okay,
can you assist me with this project? I have a week. I have a very, like, you know, it's a practice project, bro. Can you just help me? We'll figure out everything later.
As we go.
And then I pitched the idea. Homie likes it. Una likes it. The manager likes it.
Wow.
And then
that drops. And
then it goes crazy.
Yeah.
And also because Una is a very different guy already in terms of his thought process is very like unconventional, bro. I'm like, I need to figure out a way to still keep this exciting for his fans.
Yeah.
As well as also align with his world.
Okay.
And that's how we kind of get into making cartoons because we love cartoons, bro. That's all I watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy. So tell us what you're working on.
So I've been working on a couple of projects for the past few weeks. I just completed a magazine cover.
Shout out to that.
Culture Club magazine. Shout out. They just dropped.
Shout out to Culture Club. It's Culture Mag, you said?
Culture Club magazine.
Culture Club magazine.
Yeah.
Okay. Out in Joburg?
They're out in Johannesburg. Yeah,
nice.
In Johannesburg. Shout out to Mukondi. She's the founder of that.
Wow.
Thank you for putting me on, for real.
And
I also just did a really cool project with my two close mates, like two good mates rather.
Yeah.
Maurice and Matty. They put me on with the Nike job, so that was pretty sick.
Hey, that's dope.
Yeah,
Nike. Hey,
I'm really grateful for that.
When is that out?
I think it's already out on the Shelf Live page or something.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
for
dope.
this campaign called it was like a event, a Run Josie event.
Okay.
I think they're promoting like the new Pegasus.
Nice.
Shoes. And also currently working on my own personal stuff, like in the for my new work.
Nice.
I want to put out. I'm collecting a library of images right now.
That's exciting.
Yeah. It's amazing. The images look crazy.
Wow.
I can't wait to show them. And then I'm also finishing post-production for another project that I did recently, I think, which is one of my biggest productions that I've done through the Rough Network.
Yeah.
That was really fun. Very nerve-wracking, bro. Like, it's crazy being trusted with, big things, but I'm grateful for that opportunity.
No,
and
dope.
that work. That's the images I was showing you.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's dope.
Yeah, so that comes out next year. So unfortunately,
well, I was lucky to see it.
Yeah, you were. And also, there's another big personal project that I've been working on for like the whole year, really.
Yeah.
6 months, almost the whole year.
It's it's personal.
This is a very big personal project that I feel like
it's always the case with our personals, right?
Yeah, I know. This one sets
labor of love.
Yo, it's crazy. Like this one, I feel like it sets the tone.
Okay.
Like it changes everything. I believe in it that much.
Wow.
It sets the tone for the trajectory of my career. It's more like I'm studying essentially.
Okay.
Like it's more anthropology work.
Nice.
Through the imagery, through the photography.
What?
Yeah. It's
Nah, we can't wait to see that.
I don't want to talk too much.
It's gonna come together.
But yeah.
I'm quite sure you cook it. I'm quite sure.
There's a lot of pressure now. I keep saying it out loud because I need to hold myself accountable.
No, you have to, dog.
One. Yeah. There's a lot of work that's been going into that. A lot of calls, talking to people, a lot of research. A lot of
getting
reading.
It right.
Yo, it's crazy, man. But I'm really in love with the process. Like I said, I love surrendering.
Yeah.
That's what this journey of the arts has taught me. Like,
to surrender to
it.
You
need to learn to surrender. Things happen for a reason,
Yeah.
Like, and when something happens, like, you don't lose faith. You just accept.
Whatever I learned.
Yeah.
How do we move forward from here?
Yeah. And in most cases, like, the act of surrendering kind of like brings out the better in you. Rather, in my case.
And I just think for everything though, I just strongly believe if you do surrender to it, and you also have to be, for lack of a better word, you have to be. I know this word is gonna be like, oh my god, you've got to be obsessed with it.
Yo, you have to be like, I've been learning, bro, to be obsessed.
You have to be obsessed with the work.
Yeah.
You have to be so obsessed with it. Where at any end, there's the only thing you're thinking about.
Yeah.
It's that thing.
Yo, there were times I had dreams, bro, about this project. I'm telling you, like,
I know, exactly.
Like, I remember my mom called me, which my mom came to visit me in Joburg. She lives in Venda, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I can't sleep, bro. And she's like, what are you stressing about? And I'm like, yo, this is what I'm stressing about. And like, she's like, yo, you gotta relax a little bit. But yeah, bro, like, I think there was a time where I lost obsession. And then there's like, now I'm slowly getting back into like, you know, getting I'm obsessing over my work because I'm also creating things that I want to create. I'm not forced to create things because of the circumstances and whatnot. I'm really grateful, and I think that's a privilege.
And how's the OCD going with the surrendering?
Yo, quite frankly, like it's crazy. It's fighting, bro. I won't lie, but like I'm accepting the surrendering. You know,
I guess once you surrender to it, I guess
you gotta
then everything else. Because then at what point do you feel? I guess maybe again the energy which until it's ready. Because I think my question was, at what point do you think it will be ready? And for us creatives,
yo, let's not talk about that. Like, I don't think, you know, I had a conversation with a mate of mine yesterday, James, and he makes music, right? And we were talking about it, about like the act of surrendering, essentially, right? And we're talking about how they also need to, like, him and his band, like Internet Girl, they need to also like get to a point where it's like, yo, it's done. Even though we know it's not done, even though people like...
Oh, James, Internet Girl, shout out to James.
Shout out to Griggs, he's crazy. But yeah, anyway, like that's like the conversation I was also having with him about my art. I was like, bro, there's this image that I was showing someone, my cousin, and he was like, I was telling him like, this is not done. And he was like, what do you mean this is not done? I'm like,
it's finished.
There's certain things inside there that I see that you don't see.
The devil in the details.
It'd be like the highlights are not bright enough, bro. The shadows are not too dark because I'm a fiend.
It just has to be perfect.
Yeah, I'm a fiend for contrast.
Yeah, because, you know, like, I used to make beats. If someone wants to say something, they say the beat is never done or finished.
Yeah.
You just stop working on it.
You just got to stop, yeah. And it's a crazy act, bro. Like, it's weird to, like, stop. Even me, like, say the photos I showed you.
Yeah.
I've been working on them for 2 weeks now.
They're ready. I was looking at them like, okay, what else are you doing to this picture?
There's a lot that still needs to, like, if I show you my masks on the one image that I'm working on, it's like, even I couldn't believe it. But like,
I made this mask.
It was done when I was flying down from Joburg. I was working on that specific photo. I'm like, this is the grade, we're good, we're nice. And then last night, I had a look at the photos. I'm like, nah.
That's it.
There's still more things that can make this better, this photo look better. Because I think I'm obsessed with the idea of making things, like, I don't like shortcuts. I love shortcuts, but I don't like half-assing like work, you know?
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's like, it's either you go all in or you don't. So, you know, I'm just all about like creating things with intention. So I think that's what also makes me take longer with my own work, even with, like, I could submit something and it would be beautiful. It's amazing, but I still see more things that need to be done. But at some point, like, I need to come to a point where it's like,
I stop.
Like, it's done. And once I leave it, I leave it.
Yeah, Oh, yeah. That's also the thing about it, right?
Yeah.
I think for me, I take the pressure off after I click send or after I click post.
Yo, you see, that's a battle that I fight with. My friends fight with me for that.
I let go. That's the time when I really let go.
Yeah.
Because it's never going to be done.
Yeah, it'll never be done.
Like, it will never be done. I go back to pictures I took 4 or 5 years back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah.
Let's go again.
Yeah, let's go again. Because you always have a different way of seeing things at any particular time. That's always the creative process. Wow.
How do you feel about the idea of posting your work on the internet?
How do I feel about it? I feel that there's a place for it. And especially now we live in the internet era. I think we have our catalog. 'Cause the way I look at the internet, I look at it as a tool.
Sure.
And that's kind of like what has taken the pressure off. And I've also been blessed in the sense that my career was off online. So for me, very quickly in the work I did, I quickly was able to differentiate the lines quite quickly. So there was never really pressure of the internet per se. However, I strongly believe it's also a platform to get the work seen.
Yeah.
I come from a place where PR was very traditional. It was old school.
I think I'm still stuck there.
Yeah, exactly that. For the longest time, that way PR was, And now with the internet, especially with the platforms like Instagram, Tumblr. I come from a Tumblr age, Instagram, but these spaces become quite crucial for us creators to showcase the work at scale and with speed. Now you can actually. I'm talking to photographers I've never met in real life.
You and I.
Yeah, exactly. You and I. For example, it's just looking at each other's work. Because for me to actually get into your work, it was bound to happen just due to the nature of the fact that we're in a very close circle.
Yeah.
Because funny enough, Christian's show, he did mention I must talk to you. Funny enough.
For real?
Yes.
That is insane.
So you gotta listen to Christian's show.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you gotta listen to the Christian episode because he's the one that actually put me onto your work. But Kid also is someone I actually love as an artist, and
she's amazing.
Yeah, and I got to know her from outside too, but everything didn't really connect until I met you on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the fact that you close with Ayanda, Jesse, we're one family.
And I almost didn't go to that.
For real?
Yeah, getting into, because I didn't know I was I knew I was coming to Cape Town, right? But I didn't know when exactly, and I didn't know that there was a show happening.
Wow.
I did subconsciously. But
yeah, just saw it somewhere online, maybe. Yeah,
and I'm like, oh damn, the homies are going there. I need to find a way to get in there, but tickets are sold out.
Yeah, they're sold out.
Anyway.
But you're from the streets. There's always a way in for us with our cameras all the time.
Facts. But you see, I didn't want to go in shooting. There's let me not say that. It's very crazy. But I'm not shooting events are my favorite thing anymore.
Yeah,
I do shoot it for work, for business. I that's one of the things that I do. I solve for businesses or for events,
our business is different, definitely.
Yeah. But for myself as Ralph, I am more now inclined. I'm aligned to what you see currently on my work, which is why I shoot so many artists or whatnot, but I don't want to be in that world for me. It doesn't fulfill me as
so much. Are you more studio work now, composition, setup, lighting?
Yeah, more on the fine art, bro. My dream is to be in a gallery, to sell my work in a gallery. That is one day, not even to sell, but just to show, I want to create a tangible experience. That's why I even asked what are your thoughts on the internet situation? Because I feel there's a point where I stopped posting. Not because I didn't have work. I have so much. If I show you my library of work,
you'll be like, damn.
It's insane. There's so much stuff I don't put on the internet. There's just a weird relationship I have with going to shoot. It makes me, at a point, it made me hate shooting. I don't like.
Well, look at it this way. Look, I'm very much, similar to you. I'm looking to also have a gallery too.
Yeah.
I'm also working on something, a photo book.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, 2 actually.
Sheesh. You have a crazy library, bro, of work. I saw photos. I think Corbin posted it where you have gang. Apparently you have gang.
Yeah, I know. I have hard drives for life. That's why I'm so over hard drives. Look, I for me, I don't take pictures, I document. That's what I always like to say. And I'm really obsessed with youth culture. But more importantly, I'm also really obsessed with young creatives and what they're doing, the work that you're doing. And just due to the fact, I also come from a background where beyond just documenting, I also have all this information I feel I need to pass it on to the younger creatives. I've been really blessed to have been in spaces where a lot of the guys can't see it that way. But as a good man, you know, I can now just come and say, hey, young man, this is like the path, you know. You know that sometimes that's all you need. And at times that's all somebody just needs.
That's true.
Sometimes somebody just needs to be told the answer is B.
Yeah.
They just need that, and it just changes everything for them. So for me, that's really where my passion is. And when I look at your work, for me, where I sit, I really love that you do everything I don't do.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's what I always love about other, like, this is why I love other creatives. I will never do that. You know, like with Malcolm from Refuse, he designs clothes.
Yo, these clothes are crazy.
I
wanted
know.
to tell him when I sound like, yo.
Yeah, I know, right? Like when you
Right,
see
yeah.
his design process, I've been blessed to sit down to see his process. And I'm like, I can never think of it like that. And especially like just chatting to you earlier on when you were telling me about your colors and your obsession.
Yeah.
Like it just blew my mind.
Yo, bro.
Like it just blew my mind because I was like, wow, I'll never see it the way you see it. But the fact that you do everything I don't do, that's what makes me a fan of the work.
Yeah.
You know, like your kid pictures that you have. I think it's the last picture on your page.
That's Back to the City.
Back to the city.
Yeah, yo, those photos
Oh
are
man,
like,
those photos are hard.
yeah, thank you. That's
And I'm
my
like,
favorite. That's like my favorite work that I've shot Kid perform, like ever.
I love that. I was like, yeah, you know, like I can, you know, like, and what's crazy about your shooting style, I always like to laugh and say, if you don't know your camera, you
won't.
Yeah, because I know the math to get that picture the way you got it. I'm like, no way was I ever going to be patient enough to actually take that picture that way.
And it's like also at my understanding of light too, because they're like the only thing that really allowed us to get that image
It's light.
was light.
And it's crazy. I'm obsessed with low light.
Yo, and that was a light that was too crazy.
I'm obsessed with low light. Like, so whenever when I saw the image, I was like, yo, I can imagine what the lighting was there.
I'll show you the raw. And you
Okay,
see,
please.
like,
I need to see the rules, man. Oh, man. So, in parting, dog, what would you like to leave us with, man?
I would like to say, like, surrender to the process, bro. Yeah, like, that's my biggest lesson this year. Like, surrender to the process, and just also believe that, like, you are where you're supposed to be.
Oh.
You know, you're not in the wrong place. You're where you're supposed to be. Whether it's good or bad, like, everything, you know, it's all by design. You know?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that very much. No, thank you, Rob, for coming through. Episode 6. Yeah, episode 6. I'm your host, Uncle Dice, aka Malum, and this is Creative Lens. Peace, goodbye. We out.
Thank you.